everybody, Sylvie K here, and it's Sunday morning and the adventures of Superman is over, so I'm going to do a short video on making Comfrey Fertilizer. With all the other crap that's going on in the world right now, besides all the other shortages, Russia is one of the biggest suppliers of ammonium nitrate, and so they're going to withhold that, I suppose, but there are other alternatives to making fertilizer, and Comfrey is one of the best liquid fertilizers that you can make, and it's one of the best mulches you can put around your trees. They have pretty much every trace element there is to be found, and as if fertilizer wasn't expensive enough, it's going to be even more outrageous, and that's one of the reasons why I never really have bought a whole lot of commercial fertilizers, is because I can't afford it. I couldn't afford it a long time ago, and I certainly won't be able to afford it now. I do get occasionally, every now and then, some chicken manure, and when I had my own chickens before they were all murdered, I was collecting my own manure from them. So now I've got to be a little more intensive about making this fertilizer. When you harvest your comfrey leaves, you want to make sure you harvest them when they're not in flower. And actually, my comfrey here has only flowered once or twice. I don't know why. The rain might be responsible, but at any rate, all your nutrients basically are in the leaves. And there are two ways to do this. Comfrey has hairy little leaves, and sometimes mostly the stems have spines on them, so all you ladies out there with fragile little hands, you might want to put some gloves on. But I just pull them like this, and if you really wimp out, all you got to do is just take your little pruning shears here and cut them off. They pull out real easy. And it also encourages the plant to produce more leaves. You can also just take the leaves and lay them at the base of your trees. And a lot of people plant their comfrey around their fruit trees so they can get fed directly from them. All the comfrey that I have here on my property started from one little plant. They're very good at reproducing, and if you have deep soil, they can almost become a pest like horseradish. And once you've pulled your leaves off, just cut these stems off, because you want basically most of the leaves to go in your bucket, and then you can take the stems and put them in your compost pile, or you can once again use them as just straight mulch too. And comfrey is good fodder for almost any animal, but I can tell you, if you have a horse, especially if you have a spirited horse, you might not want to give him a bunch of comfrey before you decide to go for a ride, because it might be a ride that you didn't intend to take. And chickens absolutely love comfrey. If you have any free-roaming chickens and you have comfrey around and they discover it, you might come back to find that your comfrey clump is nothing but a nub. It's another crappy day in paradise, but I decided to come out in between rain showers and get this done. Hopefully it won't rain for 2 months straight. I wonder how the quarry industry is going to do with high prices, if you can find it, straight ammonium nitrate, your gravel and aggregate products probably might go up if they're blasting in quarries, because ammonium nitrate is what you stem your hole with to make a big explosion. I only know that because I used to load dynamite. Now I'm going to gather up all these stems that I cut off and go put them in my compost bucket. Now I've got my bucket pretty full here, and I'm going to top it off with some water. And this is where your outdoor catchment barrels come in handy. All you got to do is stick your pitcher in there and fill up your bucket. You want to fill this all the way full. And you don't have to put a rock in here to hold the leaves down or anything, because you'll be fishing out the rock or the stick, and it'll be just one more mess to deal with. And you want to make sure you put a lid on it too, because if you don't, you'll have every fly in your neighborhood and even from downtown coming to check it out. Because after this sits in here for 3 to 5 weeks, it will smell worse than a dead person. And then what you're going to do, you're just going to fish out the leaves and put those under your trees or in your compost pile, and then you're going to make a 3-to-1 dilution out of it. 1 part comfrey tea and 3 parts water. And for any seedlings that you have, you can take that gallon that you've made, presumably, and give half of that to any seedlings to give them a good start. So I hope this was a bit of information for anybody who didn't know anything about comfrey. Comfrey is also very good for as a poultice for sprains and breaks. Actually, it's a slang word for poultry is nip bone. And it's been used by hundreds of people for hundreds of years that know anything about anything. So I hope everybody's well. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see y'all on the downside. Bye-bye.